editor of Total Carp magazine, and this is Jon Bones, my deputy editor. We're just going to spend a few minutes taking you through what to expect in our next issue, which is the February issue, which goes on sale on the 25th of January. Right, Jon. Front cover is an interesting one this month.
Yep.
Obviously, we've got a picture of Craig Waddington. He's done a cracking feature, I reckon. He's taken bread, right, just a loaf of bread, be it like a French stick or a sliced loaf or whatever. Bread's bread at the end of the day, and he's catching carp on it. You know, might not be anything rocket science in that because bread's always caught fish. But what Craig's done is he's liquidised it and added colour. He's added different flavours. He's added like an OXO cube. Right, so it not only is he taking a bait that we've all got access to, but you know it's as cheap as chips. Loaf of bread and a few OXO cubes, and even if you buy a dedicated bait colour, you know, a dye, that'll last you months and months and months because of the amount that you get in a bottle sort of that size. You're only using a tiny drop at a time because it's so potent.
Well, Tim's done something very similar.
Tim Hodges?
Tim Hodges,
right.
Yeah, he's been out using breakfast cereals.
Oh yeah, I knew there'd be food involved with Hodges,
well,
yeah.
He does like his food. But again, along the budget theme, he's been out trying zig rigs and messing about with breakfast cereals to try and get a food column in the water. And it's worked.
How's he feeding them? How's he putting them in?
He uses a method ball, because Tim likes using the method.
Yeah.
It's dead simple, a little bit like
Tim,
yeah. And he's using a method ball with his zig rig and mixing the cereals in with his ground bait mix. So as it breaks up on the bottom, you get bits of cereal drifting up at different levels. And it works really well. He had about 7 or 8 on the day.
Did he?
Before I had to come back to the office to get it written up, and he stayed on and had another 7 or 8, I think.
Excellent. Was that just at Drayton?
Yeah, it was up at Drayton.
Right,
so nothing too big, but I think the biggest fish he had was about 13, and the smallest one was about 6 or 7. So
cool. It's good sport on a winter's day. Yeah, absolutely.
And something a little bit quirky, a little bit different.
Right.
Now I know you've been out with Nick, or doing something.
Well, yeah, talking about quirky, Nick, to be fair to him, has been around for a long time, and he's written just about everything you could ever write about carp fishing. And by his own admission, you know, he never wants to get stale and write boring stuff. So what he's come up with is visiting, probably on a bi-monthly basis, and the first one is in this issue, off-the-wall venues, and we've actually called the series Off the Wall. So instead of just thinking carp fishing as being your local day ticket lake or a linear fisheries or mid-Kent, somewhere like that, you know, he's actually going to a tributary of the River Lee, and also areas of the Lee itself. But these are areas in the concrete jungle. You wouldn't expect to find anglers there. And he's going and he's catching carp. And whilst he didn't catch one on the day that we were out with him, we got some great pictures of him. You know, there's a smashing picture of him running across a zebra crossing with his barrel all loaded up. You know, and our photographers asked him to just pause for a second to get the picture, and you can imagine what his reply is on a busy A road in the middle of London. But he came up with the goods. He caught one the following day and supplied us a nice picture. It was over, I think it was sort of mid to upper doubles, which again, nice fish out the river.
I mean, I know Nick's always out at quirky places. He finds very, very strange places to catch carp. So
he's been around a long time, and he's fished all the run-of-the-mill waters, and he looks for something different. And this, where he's actually caught these fish from, is a spot that he fished 20-25 years ago as a kid, you know, so he knows it really well. And it's great. And again, you know, as we spoke about earlier on the cheap thing, it's all free fishing. All the stretches that he's going to, you don't have to pay a day ticket, you don't have to be a club member, nothing. You know, it's there, it's on the doorstep. And it's amazing how many venues like that everybody has near them, whether it's a stretch of river or a canal, you know, or even, you know, you get to know the local farmer and it lets you fish his pond or something. We've all done that as kids. And it doesn't cost you a penny. You know, it's just the bait.
No, that sounds really good.
One of the other stories that features heavily on the front cover is Ali Hamidi's piece on PVA.
Yep.
It's a really interesting one, this, because he's talking about PVA, and you might be forgiven for thinking, oh, not another PVA feature, because, you know, we're not short of them in carp magazines. But this is specifically about using PVA in cold water. Right. I really, really like it. I don't know if you had a chance to have a look at that, but it's a really nice piece.
A quick look through, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people, as you say, don't like using PVA in the winter for whatever reasons, but I say Ali comes up with some good points and a few good tips.
So that's PVA covered. What about spodding, Jon? It's not something that I do a lot of, but I know you're keen on spodding, and obviously, you know, along those lines, we've done a piece this month, which is more your baby than mine.
Nipped out to show our readers sort of how it's done and the basics and whatnot. It's something I do a lot of and really enjoy, fishing in the Oxford area.
Well, you're not allowed into Oxford if you don't have a spod,
No, that's true. So you do have to put a lot of bait in, and it's a simple tactic that will catch you more fish that people really seem to struggle with, but it's not hard. I said we went out and showed them the gear you'll need for various types of spodding, you know, the different spods that are available, sort of how and when to do it, and just a few tips and tricks to get the readers started.
Excellent.
So
cool. And just finishing off on the subject of the live features, Adam Pennin, who, you know, might not thank us for calling him this, but he's a great rig mind, isn't he, Adam?
Yeah,
he knows the ins and outs of rigs and how they work, and he's come up with a cracker this month.
Yeah, we only need to spend sort of half an hour or so on the bank with Adam to find out that he knows what he's on about, and he really likes messing about with rigs and finding little bits and pieces to get him more bites. And he's come up with sort of a go anywhere winter pop-up rig that's made with soft fluorocarbon, and it's a cheeky little rig, and I'm sure I'm going to give it a go. So.
Easy to tie?
Yep, easy to tie, easy to use, and it works, which is the main thing.
Cool. Fantastic. Competitions-wise, we've got solar pods and terminal tackle. Witchwood rods and reels, cracking prize. Trip to France. And one that kind of I really like. All the time we get asked, don't we, about how do I get sponsored? How do I get taken on by a big company?
Almost a daily occurrence.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, this month, Chubb are running a competition where they're offering exactly that. There's like £3,000 worth of kit, but on top of that, there's a 6-month contract in the Chubb Academy. So someone's actually going to get the chance to be a sponsored angler and, you know, and make it onto the pages of Total Carp and beyond.
I wouldn't expect people to be falling over themselves for that.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Yeah.
The other bit we've got is the new Fox Big Pit reels.
Right, the magnesiums.
The magnesiums. Now, these came in a few days back, and we all had a few reservations about them. But they've started to grow on us, and sort of James Armstrong's taken them out and had a little go, and he's not shut up about them since.
Right, yeah, I know, he really rated them, didn't he?
Yeah, he says they work fantastically, and they look really nice as well. So that's something to look out for.
Cool. Brilliant. I think that's actually an exclusive, isn't it? I think we're the first monthly magazine to get hold of them, aren't we?
First magazines to publish them.
Excellent. Finishing off then, you know, obviously you're going to like what you read, hopefully, and then that leads us on to the subscription gift at the moment, which is a fabulous deal from Sonu Baits, all their pellets and boilies and whatnot. But what's more, we've actually asked Ian Day of Sonu to go out this month and prove that the gift itself works. It's all very well us telling the readers that we've got this great gift, but, you know, anyone could say that. By putting it out there on the bank and saying, look, this is what you do with it, this is how you catch carp with it. And that certainly worked, didn't it?
Well,
we had a great day.
Going on his results, it certainly works.
Brilliant. So that's about it. That's the February issue of Total Carp, which is on sale 25th of January from all good newsagents and some bad ones. John and I will be back in another month's time to let you know what's going to be in the March issue. Till then, tight lines.